When the judge's gavel fell, everyone thought Kim Mather's story was finally over. But Eminem's ex-wife didn't walk away with the punishment the world expected. And that's where the real mystery begins. After admitting she drank a fifth of Malibu rum before her 2015 crash, many believed she was headed straight for jail. Instead, the court delivered a ruling that stunned fans, ignited debate, and left one question hanging in the air. Why? What did the judge know that the public didn't? What hidden struggles shaped this final decision? And does goodbye forever really mean the end for Kim Mathers? Or is there something else coming? Let's uncover the truth behind a sentence that changed everything. If there was one day that changed Kim Mathers' public life, it was October 7th, 2015. That morning, she drove her black Cadillac Escalade through Macomb Township, veered off the road, struck a utility pole, and ended up upside down in a ditch. At first, police treated it as a routine DUI. Kim admitted she had drunk a fifth of Malibu rum, and first responders found her visibly shaken. Rumors immediately erupted. Because she was Eminem's ex-wife, many wondered whether she would receive special treatment. The case briefly went under seal, fueling even more speculation, until Kim herself demanded it be unsealed, insisting the public see the full truth. Then came the revelation that changed everything. During an interview on Mojo in the Morning, Kim admitted the crash was intentional. She had been trying to end her life. Overnight, the narrative shifted. What looked like reckless drunk driving became a painful cry for help. Some argued the court needed to consider her mental health crisis. Others insisted that suicidal intent didn't lessen the danger she posed on the road. The 2015 crash wasn't Kim Mathers' first brush with the law. Over the years, she had faced charges ranging from drug possession to outstanding warrants. One memorable incident in 2001 involved her being taken into custody by the Macomb County Sheriff's Marine Division, where officers later discovered a white powdery substance in the patrol car, hinting at possible drug involvement. These earlier run-ins only intensified media scrutiny in 2015, leading many to assume this would finally be the moment she faced harsh consequences. Yet when her DUI case reached sentencing, the outcome surprised nearly everyone. Instead of jail, the judge handed down probation, fines, and strict testing requirements. While also acknowledging her mental health struggles, critics called it favoritism. Supporters said it was compassion, and surrounding it all was the turmoil Kim had openly admitted to, the loss of someone close to her, and an ongoing battle with depression and addiction that made the incident far more complicated than a typical DUI case. Shelter outside Detroit. Everything changed in 1988 when Kim met 15-year-old Marshall Mathers at a house party. He was standing on a coffee table, rapping LL Cool J's I'm Bad, and Kim watched from the doorway. Amused, curious, and unexpectedly drawn to him, a connection formed quickly, and soon Eminem's mother, Debbie Nelson, took Kim into their home. Their relationship was intense from the beginning. Both teenagers carried emotional wounds and came from unstable families. They moved in and out of Debbie's house, arguing often but never fully pulling apart. In 1995, they welcomed their daughter, Haley Jade, a moment that pushed Marshall, still an unknown rapper living in poverty, to fight harder for a career. Meanwhile, Kim became a young mother while still battling her own unresolved trauma. Their life together was chaotic, money shortages, constant stress, and a relationship that flipped between loving and explosive friends said they could be inseparable one day and at war the next. Still, Kim stood by him during his earliest shows, cheering him on when they barely had enough to get by those years. Filled with both devotion and dysfunction, would eventually fuel some of Eminem's most infamous lyrics. Only later did the public learn the full extent of Kim's personal battles. Mental health struggles, substance misuse, and heartbreak that stretched back long before the fame. But it would take a terrifying crash years later for the world to finally understand just how deep those struggles ran. By the time Kim Mathers crashed her SUV in 2015, she had already survived years of personal turmoil. But what stunned the public wasn't the DUI itself. It was her later admission that she had tried to end her life more than once. In a 2016 radio interview, Kim spoke openly about her depression and confirmed that the crash was intentional. She said she chose a spot where no one else would be hurt and insisted she never tried to mislead first responders about her actions. The public response was deeply divided. Some sympathized with her pain, while others argued that her intentions didn't erase the danger she posed on the road. Adding to her emotional collapse, Kim suffered a devastating loss just months later. Her twin sister, Dawn Scott, died in January 2016 from a suspected drug overdose. A painful reminder of the troubled childhood they had escaped together at age 13. Kim said Dawn's death left a void she could barely process, compounding her already fragile mental state and making her struggles even harder to bear. Substance misuse had followed Kim Mathers for much of her life. Police records and past arrests, including a cocaine possession charge, painted the picture of someone who struggled with alcohol and, at times, drugs. Even during her second marriage to Eminem in 2006, she was required to stay sober under legal agreements. Eminem later admitted his own battles with prescription pills, suggesting that addiction was something they both fought, and something that both bonded and strained their relationship. Kim also became a magnet for public attention. She wasn't just Eminem's partner, she became the muse, and often the target, of some of his most intense lyrics. Tracks like Kim and 97 Bonnie and Clyde portrayed anger and violence toward her, fueling endless speculation about what really happened behind closed doors. Feeling exposed, attacked, and misunderstood, Kim's mental health began to decline. She repeatedly emphasized that no one outside their family truly knew the depth of their struggles or the pain beneath the headlines. When Kim Mathers appeared on Mojo in the morning, she spoke with an honesty that surprised everyone. She admitted that her 2015 DUI wasn't an accident at all. It was a deliberate act of self-harm. The revelation forced many people to rethink their assumptions about the case. Her confession sparked immediate debate. Some argued she needed psychiatric support far more than jail time, while others insisted that if she weren't connected to Eminem, the consequences would have been far harsher. The question of fairness suddenly became part of the story. In reality, everything, her depression, addiction, and years of unaddressed trauma, had collided in one tragic moment that October night. By revealing what she had been carrying privately, Kim transformed her case from a routine DUI into a larger conversation about mental health, substance misuse, and what justice should truly look like. When Kim Mathers walked into 41A District Court in November 2016, the tension was unmistakable. Her long-delayed sentencing for the 2015 crash had finally arrived. Judge Douglas Shepard immediately stated that he planned to treat her like any other first-time DUI offender. Despite the buzz about possible celebrity favoritism, prosecutors laid out the facts. On October 7, 2015, Kim drank heavily and crashed her SUV into a ditch. Her attorney, Michael Smith, highlighted her ongoing therapy and her suicidal state at the time. The judge noted that she had already begun substance abuse counseling on her own, a step that weighed heavily in her favor. In the end, Kim received 1 year of reporting probation, a $900 fine, and strict monitoring. She was ordered to undergo random alcohol testing 4 times a month, random drug tests twice a month, and continue mandatory counseling. It was a demanding schedule designed to keep her accountable. Some in the courtroom had expected jail time. But the judge believed sobriety and treatment would do far more for Kim than incarceration ever could. Outside the courtroom, reactions were sharply divided. Many saw the ruling as too soft, a benefit of being tied to Eminem. Others argued it was the right decision, especially after her revelations about mental health and her genuine effort to seek help. Kim addressed the court briefly but emotionally. I'm really, truly, deeply sorry for my actions that day. They were selfish, destructive. She acknowledged that she hadn't considered anyone else's safety. The sentence ignited debate everywhere. Critics insisted her connection to a famous ex-husband shielded her. Supporters countered that the ruling reflected a more compassionate understanding of mental health crises, that someone battling suicidal thoughts needed rehabilitation, not a jail cell. For Kim, it marked a painful but necessary turning point, one she hoped would finally close the door on a troubled past. As Kim Mathers stepped out of the courthouse, reporters immediately closed in. Microphones rose, cameras flashed, and the questions came rapid fire. Are you satisfied with the sentence? Did Eminem influence the decision? What happens now? Shaken and emotional, Kim offered another apology for putting others at risk. I just want to put this all behind me, she said quietly. The flashing cameras captured the moment, not as a casual comment, but as a promise to finally break away from the patterns that had defined her for years. Meanwhile, headlines were already spreading. Kim Mathers exits court, ruling delivered minutes ago. Inside the courtroom, Judge Shepard had made one final point before she left. You're being treated no differently than anyone else. This sentence fits the law and your circumstances. He even wished her well on her path to recovery. An uncommon gesture from the bench. Now, with the legal chapter officially closed, one question lingered. Would this sentence truly mark a new beginning for Kim Mathers? Or would the old demons try to pull her back again? In the months after her sentencing, Kim Mathers stayed consistent with her required check-ins and testing. There were a few bumps along the way. Diluted drug tests raised questions about whether she was hiding substance use or simply drinking too much water. A court hearing in early 2017 addressed the issue, and Kim insisted she wasn't trying to cheat the system. She continued therapy for both addiction and mental health, and despite constant public scrutiny, she appeared determined to meet every condition the court set. Eminem, who once put their conflicts into his music, remained noticeably silent. No new songs, no public statements. Those close to him said he was quietly supportive, focused mainly on their daughter Haley, and Kim's well-being. Fans, on the other hand, were divided. Online debates erupted over whether the sentence was fair, with every new development picked apart in real time. For Kim, goodbye forever no longer meant prison. It meant stepping away from years of legal trouble, negative headlines, and painful patterns. She later admitted she felt a mix of relief and fear. Relief that the ordeal was mostly over, fear about staying sober under public pressure, but she hoped the spotlight would eventually ease enough for her to rebuild. Even the media tone softened. Once portrayed as the volatile ex-wife or the target of Eminem's harshest lyrics, Kim began receiving coverage that acknowledged her struggles with a more empathetic lens. To truly understand Kim Mathers' transformation, it helps to look back at her turbulent history with Eminem. One of the most discussed celebrity relationships of the late 90s and early 2000s, Eminem's songs like Kim and 97 Bonnie and Clyde painted dramatic and often violent pictures of their life together. Fans saw raw emotion. Kim saw painful reminders of a relationship lived under a microscope. Over time, Eminem's perspective shifted. He apologized in interviews and released more reflective music such as Bad Husband. Despite their many conflicts, both remained committed to family. Eminem legally adopted Kim's niece Elena and her daughter Whitney, providing them with stability and support. Even after their relationship ended romantically, they continued working together as parents. What began as a volatile partnership eventually grew into mutual respect. After 2015, Kim spoke occasionally about Eminem's quiet support during her struggles with depression, and he helped her financially, including helping her secure a new home. Their appearances together at family events, like Haley's engagement, showed how far they had come. Their evolution from tabloid drama to cooperative co-parents reflects a deeper truth. No matter what happened between them, their shared history and love for their children kept them connected. After her sentencing, Kim Mathers quietly reshaped her life. She downsized to a smaller, more peaceful home, and financial records place her net worth around $2 million, mostly from divorce settlements and occasional freelance work. She has stayed out of the spotlight, speaking to the media only when necessary, and has shown a strong commitment to sobriety. Regular mental health check-ins, structured routines, and the absence of any public incidents since 2015 suggest real stability. Recent years have also brought happier moments. Haley is now engaged, and Elena, the niece Eminem adopted, recently celebrated her wedding, where Kim and Eminem were photographed together. There's even speculation that Haley may soon become a mother, which would mark a new chapter for Kim as a grandmother. Now, with her sentence behind her and a quieter life ahead, she stands at a crossroads, one that could define the rest of her story. But is this truly her goodbye forever to the turmoil that once consumed her, or just the calm before another storm? Let us know what you think in the comments below. And if you want more deep dives into stories like this, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss what comes next.